now it says we're live.
Okay, sending signal to the COVID monkeys.
Yeah, it says we're live. I don't know if we are, but we're.
Oh, I just got it. These captions are auto-generated. That's pretty good. Oh, I see myself.
Oh,
All right. Let me see if I can. We're live here.
All right, we're waiting for President Trump to participate in a roundtable with industry executives on reopening, and we're also watching the protests in ABC. And tell us about the spider monkeys or whatever you were just saying about what just exploded.
Yep. There was the COVID monkeys who stole the blood samples of COVID patients in like Taiwan or somewhere like that.
Yeah, that was good. No, what did you just say something about SpaceX too? Didn't you? Something exploded?
Oh yeah. SpaceX's Starship prototype blows up in huge fireball. Is that true? That's from Futurism.com. I mean, they're from the future, so it's got to be right.
But what about what weren't they supposed to launch today, or is that tomorrow? Oh, it's tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, it's
tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah, tomorrow Saturday.
Yep. So this was I believe this was the prototype for setting up like a bunch of people, like 100 passengers or something like that. So during its 5th static fire day, the 4th Starship prototype erupted in a gigantic fireball around 2:50 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, which is today. Thanks to a live stream courtesy of NASA, you can watch the structure erupt into flames. So let me send you this link, and then you can play it.
Yeah, send me a link. Something exploded.
Right, we're living in the future right now.
We're living in the future right now. We just got our computer figured out so that we could have. Who's sending me? Oh, that's you sending me messages. I was like, listen, we're broadcasting. And I'm confused. So.
Got some people waving here. Bonnie.
What up, dogs? What up?
Helen. We got Emily Firestone looking good. Dee Dee, what's up?
Trump. Wait, we got to hold it on. Trump is live, bud.
Here's you go.
Looking like we're doing very well.
Here we go.
How are you doing? Okay.
Good. Can you turn that volume up?
No.
For me or for no? Okay. All right. So I'm not really going to be able to hear it that good, but that's all right. Trumpy's about to now that he's done declaring war on China, let's see what he has to say. So, I mean, Trump basically started the Cold War II today, I would say, with China. Cold War, the sequel.
Justice, expedite the federal investigation into his death and do it immediately, do it as quickly as absolutely possible. It's a local situation, but we're also making it into a federal situation, and it's a terrible thing. We all saw what we saw, and it's very hard to even conceive of anything other than what we did see. It should never happen, should never be allowed to happen, a thing like that. But we're determined that justice be served. And I spoke to members of the family, terrific people, and we'll be reporting as time goes by. We think that we also have to make the statement, and it's very important that we have peaceful protesters and support the rights for peaceful protesters. We can't allow a situation like happened in Minneapolis to descend further into lawless anarchy and chaos, and we understand that very well. It's
always like sometimes he's either like
very important, I believe, to the family, to everybody, that the memory of George Floyd be a perfect memory. Let it be.
At least the cops didn't start the riot.
The looters should not be allowed to drown out the voices of so many peaceful protesters. They hurt so badly what is happening, and it's so bad for the state and for that great city. So we are working very closely with the Justice Department. We're working with local law enforcement. We're working with everybody.
I think it's poster boards.
Speaking with the family, and hopefully everything can be fairly taken care of. I understand the hurt. I understand the pain. People have really been through a lot. The family, George, is entitled to justice, and the people of Minnesota are entitled to live in safety.
What's up, boy?
Law and order will prevail. The Americans will honor the memory of George and the Floyd family. It's very important to us. It's very important to me to see that everything is taken care of properly. It's a horrible, horrible situation. And so we'll be reporting back in due course and as quickly as possible. I'm pleased to welcome American industry leaders to the White House as we continue to safely reopen America. We're glad to be joined by
Shift those gears,
Jeff
bud.
Bellotti of Wyndham Hotel and Resorts. Wyndham
himself.
Hotels have been really terrific company over the years. Brian Goldner of Hasbro, Dave Hoffman of Dunkin' Brands, Gary Kelly of Southwest Airlines. Really good jobs they've done. Rodney McMullen of Kroger.
China.
Thanks, Rodney. Oscar Munoz.
China.
United. Thank you,
China.
Oscar. United Airlines.
China.
Brad Smith of Microsoft. That stock has done very well, I will say. Great
Bill
job.
Gates.
Oh, great. I'm so happy about the stock.
Sonia Sengal
Thank you
of
so
Gap.
much.
I was wondering, my Microsoft
And,
stock, I was wondering if it was doing
Thank
good.
you so much.
Also with us are Secretary of Treasury Steve Mnuchin and Secretary of Labor Gene Scalia.
Jimmy,
Our
man,
nation
who's your bud?
continues to mourn for the lives claimed by the virus and grieve for the families who have lost loved ones. We continue to battle the invisible enemy. We're directing the full resources and support of the federal government to safeguard high-risk populations, especially in nursing homes. We've been a very powerful strategy on nursing homes for quite a while. The best strategy for public health is to aggressively protect the most vulnerable while allowing younger and healthier Americans to work safely. Nationwide hospitalizations, new cases, and deaths are all declining. We're tracking
put everyone to
cases
green
and
next Friday.
hospitalizations daily, and states are demonstrating their ability to rapidly identify and contain new outbreaks. Our testing is the best in the world. We've now surpassed 15 million tests, which is much more than any other country by a factor of many times.
Even the moon.
We've completed over 15 million, and
There, now we got the
that
photo
is,
up. Now I got what I want.
I think
There
we can
go.
say that's a record by a lot.
Set
And we're
records,
going to give
bud.
you a big report on testing tomorrow. We have new tests coming out that are
SATs.
above and beyond anything that anybody would have thought even possible just a couple of months ago.
Back to
In
China.
many places, we've had more tests available than people seeking them. Florida and others have said that they have testing and they don't have enough people to take the test. So we've come a long way. We started with
So we're giving people 2
an
tests at
empty
once.
cupboard. We didn't have a lot that we inherited, and we are, I think, really they've stepped up to the plate on ventilators, on tests, and on equipment and gowns and everything else. Gloves. If you look at masks, everybody has masks now. To maintain the health and safety of our society, we must also maintain the health of our economy. There's a reason why our nation's life expectancy is closely correlated.
Yo, quick announcement, everybody. This is what we're going to be doing for, like, announcements more, and this is going to be on YouTube. So go to YouTube, subscribe to Ho Bott News, and we're going to be doing a lot more stuff like this so we can live comment. Okay, and back to Trump.
A lot of progress in terms of the invisible enemy.
probably
A
turn
lot of
his
progress.
voice down
A
a
lot of
little
things
bit,
have
too,
happened that have
so that we can
taught
talk
us a
more if
lot.
we want.
Nobody's ever seen anything like this, and there certainly hasn't been anything like this since over 100 years, 1917. I want to thank all of these great companies for being here and representing.
We'll turn them down now. We can talk. I just wanted the original part
We're
about
going to be having
Floyd
a
and all that
discussion
stuff to
with
make sure
the
that
companies
it's,
as to suggestions they have.
yeah, I mean,
We think we're going to have a very strong
let them talk, bud.
opening, which has just started, really. We had the greatest economy in history of any country, not just ours. The greatest in history. We had the best employment
Better than
numbers that
Byzantine,
we've ever had. We've had the best numbers in every way, whether it's the biggest tax cuts, the greatest regulation cuts of any president. Nobody's even come close. We've rebuilt our military. We have the strongest military we've ever had.
Best Six
equipment
Flags,
coming in
hands down.
all the time. A lot of it already arrived. And very importantly, all made in the USA. And so many other things. You look at what we've done for the vets with choice and accountability. The combination, they weren't able to get that done for over 40 years, and we got them both approved. Right to try, got it approved. We've done so much, and then we had to turn it all off in order to be in a position where we are right now. Numbers were estimated to be
So you
2
can give us any
million
new
deaths,
information?
1.5
From your
million
own
deaths,
thing?
maybe 1 million, but it could have been over 2 million and maybe substantially over.
He's on his thing, but let
Unfortunately,
him go.
one is too many. It should have been stopped. It could have been stopped in China. Should have been stopped in China, but it didn't stop. And the world got infected, and it's very sad thing. But we turned off the greatest economy ever, and we turned it off very quickly, very rapidly. We banned people coming in from China very early. In fact, most people said, don't do it. Even a month later, they were saying, you shouldn't have done it. And we turned out to be right. But we have now a long way to go. But we're getting very good early numbers, as everyone knows. The stock market has been doing very well because people have a lot of confidence. We're doing very well in therapeutics.
I mean, my stocks are doing great. I have
We're
zero.
doing very well on vaccines.
Did you say stocks?
My stocks are doing great. I just got a new pen.
And
Yeah.
we're set
Pretty
up
low.
logistically with our military. Our military is set to move and to act so that I think I can say when we have that vaccine, I think I can say it with pretty good surety based on what we're seeing, that rather than taking long periods of time and bringing it out slowly, we're able to bring it out very, very quickly. So we have a general in charge of logistics. That's what he does. And he's supposed to be the best, usually moving soldiers and moving various things for other reasons. But now he's going to be moving vaccines or therapeutics, depending on what ultimately ends up. But we're doing very well.
What
on
else is there to
vaccines.
do?
Video.
Very
Every
well.
time I look down at your video, I'm like, what's
So
happening?
maybe I could use the word cure
I'm
as
just
opposed to
shooting
purely
fireballs at
therapeutic.
China.
So I want to thank everybody for being here. We have a lot of
You're
positive
welcome.
things to report. You see some of the numbers coming out with some of the states that have been
The number 3,
have been
the number
opened,
17.
and
Great
some
numbers.
of the numbers have been
43.
really beyond expectation. So we're very happy. And I think what we'll do is we'll go around the room quickly.
Oh,
And
here we
we'll say
go.
a few
And
things
introduce
about,
ourselves, icebreakers.
Any ideas you might have, your company, how well you've
Tell
done
me your
with your
name
companies.
and one thing you like doing on the weekends.
Might as well give it a little build
Hi,
up.
I'm
You have
Bill.
plenty of firepower
I like
back here.
fishing.
So please, maybe you start. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm honored to be here today
What up,
representing
dog?
Gap Inc. and working with all of you to safely open our stores, which is very important for
Okay,
us
so this is
right
all just
now.
corporate bullshit now.
Have
So
the honor
let's talk
of running
about
America's
the
largest
earlier
public
Trump
company,
press conference.
Gap
Do you want
Inc.
to actually put that on? The,
Yeah,
the
we
one where
can.
you declared war on China?
Can you send me can you send me a link so I don't have to click off of anything?
Yeah.
It makes it a lot
So,
easier.
yeah,
'Cause-
Trump basically declared Cold War II.
Yeah.
Today.
I definitely want to play that because I have to say I'm an independent, but I mean it was hard to argue with really anything that he said. I mean he was pretty much right with whatever he said. So, you know.
Yeah, China's pretty rogue in terms of its economics. And
Yeah, and I mean they really definitely downplayed the virus and they definitely screwed us a little bit. And I mean it's just like
we had over
Yeah.
But at the same time, American businesses chose to send
that's
outsource
true.
to China.
Yeah, it's true. But I'm saying more about the virus. And like the whole
Yeah,
CDC thing, at first I was like, that's crazy, but you can kind of see why I left the CDC too. So I mean, but
Well, now the virus has some competing press. It's got to compete against.
do you have that
the
press
protests.
conference? Just send me the my own watch party. Just send me go to my page and just go to the watch party and like either send me that link or something.
I'm looking for it.
And so that's been great. We have over 100,000 employees that we're
Joe
anxious to
Biden
bring
speaks
back to
about
work.
Minnesota. Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm
we
sending it to you
developed
here.
Yeah, just
So
copy
we'll watch this because, like we were talking before, this is the most presidential Trump has ever sounded in this press conference, declaring the Cold War on China.
And it happened so fast, and I feel like everybody
happened so
missed it.
fast.
Yeah. So it's like
He came out like an alpha gorilla, like pounding his chest.
Yeah, he basically came out and was like, "Fuck China," and yeah, it was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I got it. Hold on.
I mean, between that and the whole censorship on social media, I mean, I don't completely disagree with that. I don't know the ins and outs because I don't have as much information, but seems like censoring is bad.
Really well.
I
visited our stores in Virginia last night, and I visited
I
our
don't
stores
know.
in Texas and Arizona, California
let's
over
see
the
if it
last
works
couple
here.
weeks, and our customers are thrilled
Yeah,
to be back.
I don't
Our
want to hear these
employees are thrilled to be
corporate
back.
bastards tell me
In fact,
about
one of
their
our-
stocks.
Yeah. I mean, I'll leave it streaming,
for
and
some
then
managers.
if it goes back to Trump, we'll bring it back. Well, let me see what we got here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we got it. Nice. All right.
I mean, he came out like he just
Oh, here we'll
took a
watch
whole
it.
bunch of diet pills and came out and declared Cold War on China. But I mean, everybody's losing their jobs, so if they bring all the manufacturing and stuff from China back here,
Good afternoon. Thank you.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here today to talk about our relationship
Oh, my bad.
with China and several new measures to protect American security and prosperity. China's pattern of misconduct is well known. For decades, they've ripped off the United States like no one has ever done before. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year were lost dealing with China, especially over the years during the prior administration. China raided our factories, offshored our jobs, gutted our industries, stole our intellectual property, and violated their
We offshored our
commitments
jobs.
under the World Trade Organization. To make matters worse, they are considered a developing nation, getting all sorts of benefits that others, including the United States, are not entitled to. But I have never solely blamed China for this. They were able to get away with the theft like no one was able to get away with before because of past politicians and, frankly, past presidents. But unlike those who came before, my administration negotiated and fought for what was right. It's called fair and reciprocal treatment. China has also unlawfully claimed territory in the Pacific Ocean, threatening freedom of navigation and international trade.
What
And
did
they
they claim?
broke their word to the world on ensuring the autonomy of Hong Kong. The United States wants an open and constructive relationship with China, but achieving that relationship requires us to vigorously defend our national
He's
interests.
pissed.
The Chinese government has continually violated its promises to us and so many other nations. These plain facts cannot be overlooked or swept aside. The world is now suffering as a result of the malfeasance of the Chinese government. China's cover-up of the Wuhan
He says the
virus
word
allowed the disease to
incalculable, and I
spread
can't
all
even
over
say
the
that word
world,
while he
Yeah.
says it.
Of the
instigating a global pandemic
malfeasance.
that has cost more than 100,000 American lives and over 1 million lives worldwide. Chinese officials ignored their reporting obligations to the World Health Organization and pressured the World Health Organization to mislead the world when the virus was first discovered by Chinese authorities. Countless lives have been taken and profound economic hardship has been inflicted all around the globe. They strongly recommended against me doing the early ban from China, but I did it anyway. It was proven to be 100% correct. China has total control over the World Health Organization, despite only paying $40 million per year compared to what the United States has been paying, which is approximately $450 million a year.
So
We
that
have detailed the
10 times
reforms
as
that
much.
it must make
If he's saying
and
it's
engage
true,
with them directly,
what he's saying is
but
true.
they have refused to act. Because they have failed to make the requested and greatly needed reforms, we will be today terminating our relationship with the World Health Organization and redirecting those funds to other worldwide and deserving urgent global public health needs. The world needs answers from China on the virus. We must have transparency. Why is it that China shut off infected people from Wuhan to all other parts of China? It went nowhere else. It didn't go to Beijing.
if this was Dragon
Went
Ball Z, he would be
nowhere
like
else,
powering
but they
up right
allowed
now.
them to
Why
freely
did
travel
China?
throughout the world, including Europe and the United States? The death and destruction caused by this is incalculable. We must have
See, I
answers,
can't
not only
say
for
that
us, but
word.
for
So
the
I was
rest
like,
of the
nice.
world.
Incalculable.
Yeah, I can't even
This
say it.
pandemic has
Incalculable.
underscored the crucial
There you go.
importance of
You
building
did it.
up America's economic independence, reshoring our critical supply chains, and protecting America's scientific and technological advances. For years, the government of China has conducted illicit espionage to steal our industrial secrets, of which there are many. Today, I will issue a proclamation to better secure our nation's vital university research and to suspend the entry of certain foreign nationals from China who we have identified as potential security risks. I am also taking action to protect the integrity of America's financial system, by far the best in the world. I am instructing my presidential working group on financial markets to study the differing practices of Chinese companies listed on the U.S. financial markets with the goal of protecting American investors. Investment firms should not be subjecting their clients to the hidden and undue risks associated with financing Chinese companies that do not play by the same rules. Americans are entitled to fairness and transparency. Several of the most significant actions we're taking pertain to deeply troubling situations unfolding in Hong Kong.
That's amazing.
This week, China unilaterally imposed control over Hong Kong's security.
Yeah, this is the Hong Kong right now, the X going on Hong Kong.
Beijing's treaty obligations with the United Kingdom in the Declaration of 1984 and explicit provisions of Hong Kong's basic law. It has 27 years to go. The Chinese government's move against Hong Kong is the latest in a series of measures that are diminishing the city's long-standing and very proud status. This is a tragedy for the people of Hong Kong, the people of China, and indeed the people of the world. China claims it is protecting national security. But the truth is that Hong Kong was secure and prosperous as a free society. Beijing's decision reverses all of that. It extends the reach of China's invasive state security apparatus into what was formerly a bastion of liberty. China's latest incursion, along with other recent developments that degraded the territory's freedoms, makes clear that Hong Kong is no longer sufficiently autonomous to warrant the special treatment that we have afforded the territory since the handover. China has replaced its promised formula of one country, two...
Oh. Well, for whatever reason, it cut off right there. Watch the very end of it.
Way to go.
Yeah, I don't understand why I did that.
The United States will also take necessary steps to sanction PRC and Hong Kong officials directly or indirectly involved in eroding Hong Kong's autonomy and just if you take a look, absolutely smothering Hong Kong's freedom. Our actions will be strong. Our actions will be meaningful. More than 2 decades ago, on a rainy night in 1997, British soldiers lowered the Union flag and Chinese soldiers raised the Chinese flag in Hong Kong. The people of Hong Kong felt simultaneously proud of their Chinese heritage and their unique Hong Kong identity. The people of Hong Kong hoped that in the years and decades to come, China would increasingly come to resemble its most radiant and dynamic city. The rest of the world was electrified by a sense of optimism that Hong Kong was a glimpse into China's future, not that Hong Kong would grow into a reflection of China's past. In every decision, I will continue to proudly defend and protect the workers, families, and citizens of the United States of America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Peace. No questions.
Thank you.
No questions, bud. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's basically declaring war on China without actually declaring war on China.
But like we were saying before, what's war?
Ongoing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
at this point,
nobody's nuking anybody.
Nobody's putting ground troops anywhere. So what's war? War is sanctions, basically.
Ticket tax holiday for 2020.
Yeah, I mean, where would it go if we like did something on a territory that was owned by them, but not like on the mainland? What would they do, and vice versa?
Number one, so that
They're not gonna.
confident
That
that
doesn't.
they'll
I mean, it's
quickly
just that's not something that's just not feasible.
get back on their
Hold
feet.
I gotta
and
turn.
It's like the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
Throwing missiles at each other.
Yeah, I mean,
When
this
that
is
happens,
basically like
I think
another
that
Cold
things
War.
will
Cold War II, the sequel. This time, it's personal.
This time, it's China.
Made in China. Cold War II.
Alright.
Yep.
Now we're catching up.
So,
Catching up with this
Yeah, yeah.
real live here. See if Trump talks anymore. I don't know why it's not loading. I'm sure my computer's having. Oh,
program.
there we go.
We've never had a furlough or a layoff
well,
or a pay cut.
country's slowly opening it up.
History at Southwest.
And Trump is clamping down on China. So,
I
this is a crazy timeline. What happens next? The aliens come.
Well, yeah. Now that
Thank you,
the curfew in Minneapolis and all that kind of stuff
That's
is
going to go
tonight.
over well.
That's gonna 8 o'clock tonight. Oh, there's
mortality,
Deborah Burks,
fatalities that
bud. Where have you been?
all grieve are down significantly week over week. We're excitingly.
I feel like Dr.
finding
Burks is like the
governors and
alien
mayors being
Independence
able to
Day,
respond
like where it has
to
the
the epidemic
scientist and it says,
in a
"Release
proactive
me."
testing,
Yeah.
finding
That's
ways
like
to
her.
contact tracing,
Release
stopping
me
outbreaks.
now.
We're seeing that over and over again.
That's why she wears that
Count
scarf
by
all the
metro
time,
by
dude.
metro.
Yeah, she's not
I think
wearing
we're
it right
working
now.
with all the
She's
healthcare
not.
providers because just as we want to open up America safely, we want to make sure every
Oh, there she
American
is.
has access to health care. We want to see our babies immunized. We want to see them at their well baby checkups. We want to see pregnant women
Baby,
baby,
cared
baby.
for in their appointments. And we want
How
to
about
see the
universal
hospitals
pet
back.
insurance? Why is nobody talking about that?
What?
If you have a pet, you shouldn't have to pay to have it taken to the vet. Like universal pet insurance. You know what I mean? Funded by somebody. If I had $20 billion, I would make a fund to fund everyone's like pet surgeries and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I would
Much improved numbers, and I think this.
always support the pups, bud. Dude, why is this doing this to me? I keep clicking like one too many times, and it's like lagging just a second, and then I keep pausing it by accident.
You need to be patient, sir.
Yeah, I know that's pretty much what it is. I just need to hit live. Okay, hit live.
If a button doesn't work, so you just start mashing the keyboard. Like, one of these buttons gotta work. Well, so what is China's response to this going to be?
Yeah, well,
have to test proactively
what
to
can they
find
really-
the asymptomatic.
Yeah.
No one intends
Can we get
to
some
infect
footage from
others.
like closed
They
circuit
just don't know if
Chinese
they're infected themselves. And
internet?
so working
Yeah,
with
there's no
states and
there's no way
governors and
you even
mayors
know what's
to
going on
really
in China. The only thing I
set
got
up
is
those
People's
testing
Daily.
sites
That's
has
the
really been
only thing that I get, and
extraordinary.
it's
having
always
a
just
testing
that's like the
available at that
Chinese
level. I think we're about 350,
whatever, Fox
400,000
News or
tests
whatever.
a day.
And it's
We're
very
up
always
to
very
having
limited
tested
information.
5% of every American.
Yeah.
AP
in less
News.
than
That's
2
fantastic.
months.
I don't see no Fauci there.
I wish the press would
It's like
report it.
Fauci out. He's done.
But someday
Yeah.
they will.
Here we
Someday
go.
they're going
There's
to
Trumpy.
do that.
He's back.
Thank you very much, Deborah. I appreciate it. A lot of progress has been made. Great
Love.
job you're doing. Thank you.
Deborah.
Please.
Hi, Mr. President. I'm Brian Goldner with Hasbro, and
Nice.
thank you for your leadership.
Hasbro?
And
I made an action figure just for you.
Yeah, seriously.
It's got a cape and
All right.
movable legs.
So I'm assuming at this point there's not going to be, hey Rob, I just saw your comment. How you doing? But I
Hey, what's up,
appreciate it.
buddy?
Thanks for, we just doing this for fun and want to get the news out, bud. So by the way, we're gonna get off of here and we're gonna upload this immediately to YouTube, and then it's gonna immediately premiere so you can rewatch it. So subscribe to Ho Bott News. That's not on YouTube. That's not going to be the only thing that's on YouTube. We have other podcasts and a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to be on here. But we're all also going to put these different press conferences from now on when Trump and Governor Wolf speak. So subscribe to Ho Bott News. It's free. And thanks for joining us. And Lee, thanks for taking the time. I'm sorry that I waved at you a couple times to stop talking when Trump was talking. And I just put this thing over you. And we're going to end our live video. See you.
What?